All right, so these are 7-3 notes. These are rational exponents. So up here, this first little top part, okay, is just some examples and some more notes for you if you need them. So I'm just going to do a couple of these for you. Oh, did not want to do that just yet. Let me erase that real quick. Erase, erase, erase. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and start here with the first couple problems. So this first one, what we're going to do is we're going to just rewrite it. It says write each expression in radical form or write each radical in exponential form. Anything to the 1/2 power is a square root. So this right here, this first one, okay, it's to the half power. So you just write the square root instead of a half, and you're saying the square root of 14. That's all you have to do. Number 2, again, is to the power of 1/2. So you just do the square root sign and write 5x. Okay. Number 3 is to the 1/2, so square root 17y. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there's anything else that's to 1/2, and there's 2 more. Okay, number 4, square root, and then 12. Number 5, square root, and 19 times a times b. Okay, so that's fairly easy on those. Now you have the square root. So it says if it's in the square root form, we're going to write it in the exponential form. Square root is the same thing as a power to 1/2. So I'm going to flip-flop colors here. So here, number 6 is just 17 to the power of 1/2. Okay, number 7, same thing. It's square root, so we're going to rewrite it 12n to the power of 1/2. Number 8, 18b to the power of 1/2. Okay, and then number 9, it's just 37 to the power of 1/2. I think that's it for those, yeah. Okay, so now the next little section says simplify. So the easiest way for you to do this is to put this in the calculator. Okay, in your calculator, if you hit the second 0 where it says catalog and go up, you're going to see something that will have the cube root, in which I'm showing you all this in class. So I can't show you how to do it on here because I don't have a calculator where I can show it to you on here, but hopefully if you don't know, you can ask a friend if you're absent. But if you go second 0 and scroll through, you'll see like the square root, and then you'll see cube root. You can hit the cube root button, hit enter, type in 343, hit enter for this first one, and when you do that, you'll get the answer 7. Okay, so there are cube root ones on there. For number 11, it says the 5th root. So what you're going to do in your calculator when you hit second 0, it's right around where the cube root and square root is. It has an X. So what you're going to want to do is you want to type in your number first. So here we're taking the 5th root. So you want to type in 5, go to second 0, scroll to where you see the X square root, hit that key, type in 1024 and hit enter. And when you do that, it comes out to 4. So again, I am showing you this in class. If you're absent and you're looking at this video, you can either ask me during tutorials or you can ask a friend. Okay, now for the ones in that have the exponent, this one's not too hard. You can just type this into the calculator. You would write 512, hit the power key. Just make sure you put this in parentheses, 1 divided by 3, and then hit enter. So you can type that in, and when you do that, you should get 8. Okay, so same thing for this row. Just put this into your calculator. 13 and 14, both you will have to do the one that has the X and the square root sign under the catalog, which is where you hit second 0. And when you type that in, for number 13, you'll get 7. Number 14, you get 2. Make sure you do know how to do this and just not writing down these numbers, though, because this is on your test. And I hate for you to just write this down and miss all those problems because you're not trying it on your own. So make sure you figure that out. Okay, number 15. Again, you can just write 243. And then you can do your caret key, okay, and that makes it an exponent, and you just type in 1 divided by 5 for 1/5. When you hit enter, it gives you 3. Alright, so that's that top section. Now we're going to do this bottom section, which is a little bit more solving equations. Okay, so what you have to do here, it's a little complex, I would say. You have to figure out, you're going to have to look at your bases, and you have to figure out how to get your exponents, your base to be the same, so that you can get an equation. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So for this first one, okay, if you notice, you have a base of 2. So what you're going to want to do, and I'll highlight this for you, and you're going to have to excuse me because my throat's a little dry. So what you're going to have to do, okay, is you want your bases to be a 2. So I know here I have 2 to the power of x. So I need this to be 2 to the power of something. The easiest way for you to do this is just type in your calculator 2 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 5, and keep going until you figure out what comes out to 128. When you type in your calculator, you keep on going, you'll see that 2 to the power of 7 is equal to 128. So now you can see your bases here are the same. Okay, so what I want you to focus on are your exponents. So my exponents here, I have x is equal to 7. And in this case, this was a pretty nice one because you already solved your equation. So you're done. X equals 7. Okay. Number 2. So again, I'm going to look at my bases. So my base here is a 3. Okay, so I got to figure out how can I get 81 to be 3 to the power of something. So here we have 3 to the power of 3x plus 1. Here you have 3 to the power of what? So again, just type in your calculator 3 to the power of 2, 3 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 4, 3 to the power of 5, and so on, and see what can you get to be 81. And in this case, when you type that in, you'll get 3 to the power of 4. So again, my bases are the same. So what I can do now is set my exponents to equal each other. So I have 3x plus 1 is equal to 4. So 3x is equal to 3. So x is equal to 1. And that's it. All right, number 3. There we go. So again, okay, so notice I only have one base in the problem. That's a 4. So what I'm going to do now is figure out, okay, what can I do to 32, or sorry, 4 to the power of what to give me 32? And if you notice, when you type it in, 4 to the power of 1, 4 to the power of 2 gives you 16, 4 to the power of 3, it doesn't give you 32. So what happens here is, okay, we learned I can't do to the power of 4. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, well, I can pull a 2 out. So let's say we do 2 here. Now, if you pull a 2 out, then you got to put a 2 up here because 2 squared is 4. So what I did is instead of 4, I'm going to use 2. Okay, but to do that, to replace this 4, we know, I'll write it up here, we know 2 squared is equal to 4. So that is what you see. I can probably even highlight it in blue. Let me see. Yeah, that's what you see right here. Okay, there's my 2 squared, there's my 2 squared. It's the same thing. All right, I didn't get rid of my exponent. So now you got to figure out 2 to what power would give you 32. And when you work through all this, you'll end up getting 2 to the 5th power. Okay, so now I know my bases are the same. So I'm going to look at my exponents. So I have 2 times x minus 3 is equal to 5. And we're going to solve it just like a regular equation. So 2x minus 6 is equal to 5. 2x is equal to 11. So x is equal to 11 over 2. And that's your final answer. All right. Okay, so over here, I have 8 to the x power. Whoops. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. 73 notes. There we go. Okay. So over here, we have 8 to the x power is equal to 4,096. So again, I have 8. Don't worry about my baby. Daddy's in there taking care of her. 8 to the x power is equal to what? So what we have to figure out is we have the same base. So I know my base is 8, and you just type it in your calculator. 8 to the power of 1, 8 to the power of 2, 8 to the power of 3, and so on until you get 4,096. And so that's just going to be to the power of 4. So here, since my bases are the same, so there's 8 and there's 8, then I know my exponents are going to be equal to each other. So x here is going to be equal to 4. So let me write that in my pen. X is equal to 4. Okay. All right, number 5. So for this one, I'm going to again rewrite this. I have 9 to the power of 3x plus 3. My base is 9, so I'm going to see 9 to the power of what can get me 6,561. So just type in your calculator till you get that number, and you'll see it's 9 to the 4th power. So again, my bases are equal to each other. So once my bases are equal to each other, then I know that my exponents are equal to each other. So then we just have our regular equation. 3x plus 3 is equal to 4. So subtract 3 from both sides. 3x is equal to 1. So x is equal to 1/3. Okay, and that's your final answer. All right, number 6. So again, my base here is 11. So I'm going to rewrite this. I have 11 x minus 1 is equal to 11 to the power of what? To give me 1,331. And it ends up being the power of 3. So again, my bases here are the same, 11 and 11. My exponents here are equal to each other since my bases are equal to each other. So we just have x minus 1 is equal to 3. So x is equal to 4. And that's your final answer. Okay. Let's see, we got 2 more rows left and then we're done. Okay, so again for this one, I'm going to rewrite this. I have 8 to the power of x is equal to, okay, and I'm going to do 8 to the power of something. So for this one, you just keep typing in the calculator, keep going, and then eventually you'll get 8 to the 6th power. So again, okay, your bases here are the same, so 8 and 8. So what that tells me is that my exponents are going to be equal to each other, and so that means x is equal to 6. You don't have to solve anything, so you are done with this problem. Okay. Number 8. So again, for this one, we have 5 to the power of 5x is equal to. So I gotta know this. My base is 5 to the power of what? Gives me 3,125. Type in your calculator. Keep going, and eventually you'll see it's to the power of 5. So now that your bases are the same, okay, so my bases are 5 and 5, your base has to be the same in order to say that your exponents can equal to each other. So my exponents can't equal to each other, so I have 5x is equal to 5. So that comes out to x is equal to 1. Okay. All right, number 9. So I know that I have 9 to the power of 2x minus 6, and that's equal to 6,561. For that, again, I know my base is going to be 9 because I need them to be the same. So just type in the calculator 9 to the power of 1, 9 to the power of 2, 9 to the power of 3, 9 to the power of 4 until you get 6,561, and it comes out to the power of 4. So for this, now I know that my bases are the same. Okay, so once your bases are the same, then we know here that your exponents can equal to each other. So I have 2x minus 6 is equal to 4. So I can add 6 to both sides. So I have 2x is equal to 10. Divide both sides by 2. X is equal to 5. All right. Okay, last little row. So let me see if I can get this zoom in. There we go. Okay, so again, I'm going to rewrite this. I have 9 to the power of x. So I know I need this to be 9 to the power of something. And just, again, put in the calculator, 9 to the power of 1, 2, 3, so on. And you want 729, so that's 9 to the power of 3. Okay, so my bases are the same, which tell me that I can set my exponents equal to each other. So I have here x is equal to 3. Oh, I want pink, so that's it. X equals 3. You solved for x. There's nothing else that you can do, so that's your final answer. All right, number 11. So for number 11, we have 8 to the power of 3x plus 1, okay, is equal to. So for this, I need it to be 8 to the power of something. Keep typing in your calculator. You want to get 4,096, and you'll notice it's 8 to the 4th power. Okay, so again, my bases are the same. So base is the same, so that tells me that my exponents are going to be equal to each other. Okay, so I can rewrite this 3x plus 1 is equal to 4, and just solve for x. So subtract 1 from both sides, you get 3. Divide both sides by 3, you get 1. So x is equal to 1. All right, and then I think last one. Yep, last one. So here I have 13 to the power of 3x minus 8 is equal to, so again, I want this to be to the power of 13. 13 to the power of something, and you want 28,561. When you type in the calculator, you'll end up getting 13 to the power of 4. So again, my bases are the same. So I have 13 and 13. Once you know your bases are the same, you can set your exponents equal to each other. So we have 3x minus 8 is equal to 4. Add 8 to both sides. 4 plus 8 is 12. Divide both sides by 3, and x to be equal to 4. And that's your final answer. And you can always check by plugging 4 back in. Let's see, I can use, I'll do purple. You can take this answer right here, this x equals 4, go plug it in right here. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. Type in 13 to the power of 4 and make sure it comes out to 28,561. Okay, so you can go back and check all these, and that way that you know that you got the correct answer. And I believe that's it for these notes. So yeah, so if you have any questions, just let me know.